Social distancing, the lie. Social distancing, the fraud. You see, ladies and gentlemen, every time you breathe out, you let out a plume of breath. It's got nearly microscopic droplets of vapor from your lungs. And if you're carrying any kind of a virus or a cold or any kind of infectious disease, you're going to be breathing a certain amount of it out in your breath. Now let's examine what a breath plume looks like. The next time you see somebody exhaling from a vape, where they've taken in a large draw of their vape oil and then they breathe it out, watch that big old plume come out of their lungs. Now, when you go in these big corporate-owned, government-owned, fascist-operated establishments, and they keep espousing this social distancing garbage, you know, if you're downwind from somebody breathing, 6 feet is not going to get it. And if you're upwind from somebody that's sick, maybe you're a little safer. But the bottom line is when you're in these big box stores, like the supermarket or, you know, Harris Teeter especially, and Walmart and all these other places where they think social distancing works, because the government and their liars keep spewing it all over the news media owned by the corporations that own those big box stores and essentially own all the big businesses. The corporate-owned media keeps ranting and raving and foaming at the mouth about social distancing and those dumb masks that do not work. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wearing a mask in Walmart that's not an N95, you're releasing into the atmosphere inside Walmart all of your breath, along with all the other shoppers. And then all that breath, the vapor from the human lungs, is being stirred about by the air conditioning and air circulation systems inside Walmart, inside the supermarkets, inside the motor vehicle department, down at the courthouse, anywhere you go inside a building where people are breathing, you're swimming in their vapor from their lungs, their breath. Now, the real sinister part of all this is the massive amounts of sewage that the governments dump into the rivers, the creeks, the streams. The groundwater is massively being poisoned by sewage. And places like New York's harbor, New York City's harbor is full of sewage and viruses. The East River, Long Island Sound, the Intercoastal, the St. Lawrence River, the Ohio River, the Tennessee River, the Mississippi River, the Chesapeake Bay, the Potomac River, all these areas, Connecticut River is full of viruses and COVID 1, 2, 3, COVID 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, COVID 9, 10, 11, 12, COVID, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, and 18, and COVID-19. The government on a massive scale and the corporate-owned news media are lying to the whole world. It's the sewage being released on a massive scale into the environment. The sewage being owned by the government, the sewers being owned by the governments, and the sewers and the sewage being perpetrated all over the world by the governments. Billions and 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 billions of gallons of raw human sewage, untreated sewage, are being dumped all over America by the government. Donald Trump, Mike Pence, William Barr, Christopher Wray, Director of EPA, Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of gallons of raw human sewage are being dumped all over the place by the governments out of the government-owned sewers. Now, anybody that doesn't know who I am, my name is Judson Witham, and I went after Lake Champlain nose to nose, right up in the Vermont and New York State legislature's grill over Lake Champlain. and Lake George and the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes. I'm fighting this battle about the Great Lakes and every river in America, from San Francisco to Seattle, from Seattle to Miami to Tampa Bay, to New Orleans, and, you know, up to the New England states, where all this massive sewage overflow is infecting our environment on a grand, massive, unbelievable, gargantuan scale. Governor Andy Cuomo. And your brother Chris there at CNN, Chris Cuomo is nothing but full of crap. Right along with Basil Sagos of the Department of Environmental Confiscation there in New York. Basil Sagos, you're just absolutely full of garbage, right along with the EPA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. How much of this sewage is absolutely laced with viruses is not conspiracy theory, it's scientific fact. So to all my friends and family up there in Glens Falls, New York, and up there at Lake George, New York, and everybody who knows me all over the United States and around the world, remember one thing. The Vermont State Legislature corroborates everything I'm telling you. In other words, I don't get up early in the morning to make up a crazy-ass video and spread it all over the world to lie to people on a grand scale. This video is scientific fact. And if anybody in the government doesn't like the fact that I've exposed them, well, that would be too damn bad. Donald Trump, William Barr, Christopher Wray, too damn bad Mike Pence. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I've said enough. All the links and information you need are below. And as always, hasta la vista, God bless, and you can betcha the old swamp fox is coming back.